to be.
Yeah, I really miss, and I really miss this moment. And I remember, in the bus, we have an interview, and lots of stuff were going on.
This is a direct conversation about a body of work, bro, that is so incredibly special and unique, and so beautifully unexpected, and a journey from start to finish. No two songs sound alike, and your range sonically and vocally, from rapping to crooning to acoustic, like, bro, it is bravo. Like, do you set goals before you start making this album?
First, appreciate it for noticing. It's a 10. Actually, there was no goal. Actually, after my last mixtape, I was like lost and wondering, like, oh, what should I do right now? And like lots of stuff were going on as BTS, so I have to invest my rest and the time to focus on my solo works. And as usual, I just started. I started with a song, and that was the Wildflower. And there were no goals, because the word goals were for the team.
Yeah.
The message, the slogan, or the data is for the team. And for me, my goals were, I think, just make an album, make a beautiful album, and then release someday. I think that was my only goal.
You bring up Wildflower. What is a wildflower to you?
Actually, it's the title was supposed to be Flower Works, but I changed it because it doesn't make any sense. Flower Works. I just made up that word, and you could easily get it if you compare the fireworks and flower works, because there's actually no thing like flower works, because fireworks, when you think of fireworks, is really fast, but it's still beautiful. Lots of millions of people go to see that, maybe some short 20, 30 beautiful minutes. It's a festival, but you have to prepare it for like a lot of time. But it's up in the sky and just fall back down like so sudden. But when you compare it to the flowers, you don't even know the name. I just think of the image that lie down on the ground, a bare ground, and just hold some small flowers, and then throw it in the sky and just fall back down like some fireworks. So that's what I call the flower works, of the image of flower works. And I think BTS is like the fireworks. Lots of prepare, lots of practice, but it's so beautiful. So many people come to see. But for me, I just, I started my career as a poet. I always wanted to be a writer or a poet when I was young. So that's why I chose rap, because rap is rhythm and poetry, basically. So for me, I think I someday want to go back to the bare ground, bare feet, so down to earth, and then like just throw the flowers up in the sky. Oh yeah, this is my fireworks, kind of like that. So yeah, long story.
By the way, I can see that visual in my mind. Did any of these songs start as poems?
It actually started. I came up with that keyword 7 years ago, 2015, like in Korean, like flower works. Oh, someday I gotta make some song called this flower works, and it took almost 7 years to just from a keyword to be an actual song.
Where did you save that those words? Like, did you put it in your notes app on your phone? Did you write it somewhere?
Actually, I wrote down in the phone, of course. I wrote down in a notebook, and actually there's a message in our fan army community that I wrote in 2017. It's called Flower Works. So maybe after the release, the fan would notice and maybe figure out that text again. So, I guess
these songs that are on this solo debut album have been living inside of you for years.
Yes, for from 7 years to maybe a year.
So, what is your creative process like? Because you talk about obviously starting as a poet and rapping is putting those poems to a beat. Do you freestyle? Do you write your lyrics? Do you mumble in front of a microphone? How do you do it?
um, there's maybe technically there would be two ways. Um, it could be started from a keyword like flower words or just a simple melody, but usually it starts from a keyword like, yo, what do I gotta say, what do I want to say, or there's a beautiful track, and then the track, um what is it like, calls the melodies and keywords. But usually I think I start with the word because it's always my major and my main part. And I don't usually mumble or just freestyle. Um, for me, I rather build it like an architect, like from stone to stone, brick to bricks.
Emotionally strategic, like you have purpose to everything you do. Like every lyric, every word,
Oh,
every movement
yeah.
has a reason. It matters.
I think in this for this album, it is so me. So sometimes I feel like, oh, this is so cocky, this is so me sometimes. But yeah, I can't lie. And yeah, but for Flowerworks, it just, when I just listen to the track, I just popped up in my mind the melody, the right vocal, the right hook. So sometimes a miracle comes to me, but usually it doesn't. So I have to figure out.
Do you know
a single brick?
It's so funny. Like you talk about a miracle. Like when songs just come to you, do you feel like it comes from a higher power? Because a lot of artists do. Like Chris Martin, for instance, like he thinks his best songs were given to him by like the universe came and like beamed it down into his brain.
Actually, there's a song called Higher Power in their career. And I don't know if there's some higher power or, I don't know, some big existence, but maybe it's my unconsciousness and my thoughts, my frank thoughts inside. And there's a certain timing that it comes just a one some sort of soul. So I think I think of it like that. I don't know about a higher power or universe.
True beauty is true sadness. That is a lyric in one of your records that stands out to me. Can you expand on what it means? True beauty is true sadness.
Oh, actually, it's the track one, right? It's Yoon, and it's about a Korean painter. He's my favorite, and I have the biggest respect for him. For his life and message. And actually, he passed away right now, but when he was alive, he said that he wrote down a memo, and a true beauty is a true sorrow. So, but I just want to make it rhyme, so I changed it to sadness from sorrow. But sorrow is like kind of like a more deeper, right? And I don't know, when I think, when we see the line, like a true beauty is a true sorrow or a true sadness, like we don't get it, right? Like we don't easily get it. So we have to translate on our own. And for me, it's like, when you're like extremely sad and when you're like extremely happy at the same time, you just shed the tears, right?
Yeah.
We're like extremely sad, we shed the tears. When we are extremely happy or impressed, we shed the tears too. So I thought about the tears. So like I was like the same thing like too, because why did he say the true beauty is a true sorrow? For me, it's about his life through the Korean War. Like Korea was a very in danger for like centuries and years and years. We have a very tricky, very sad history. So through his life, he been through all those hardship and the pain. I think it was his kind of conclusion, or like a kind of like a small preach that he realized. So I'm trying to figure out like what's inside. But for me, when I see something really beautiful and really I don't know, maybe artistic, I become really sad. Maybe that's because I'm jealous, or maybe I'm too impressed, or I'm too happy.
So it
But
leads to
always,
madness.
yeah. It leads to madness, and because that's why he when we see his painting is the it's a long story, but his painting is black, and when he was young, he painted his paintings like his father-in-law. His father-in-law was a painter too, was a famous painter, and it was really blue and indigo, like it was sky and sea, like it's really beautiful. But once he been through some very many trials and hardships, and he was in jail for months. He when he got back to the real life, he started like mix all the paint colors, and when we mix the colors, it ends in black, right? So it was his madness. But when I see his madness, it's really something um, elegant and very beautiful. It's his madness, and he actually said that he wrote down in the diary, "This is my madness. This is my anger. I'm just writing every day of my diary. I hate this world, but I try to be a right person. I want to be human. Um, I don't think I'm doing an art. I'm just being a human, and I'm writing down my every anger and beauty like every day."
But there's
So
so
this
much
is
beauty in that. Like there's beauty in rawness. There's beauty in honesty and emotion and whatever.
yes,
Like
honesty.
yes.
He was honesty for his whole life, and I don't know how, because in Korea, like in his ages, in his times, people were starving. There were no food at that time. There were right after the war, we were like so poor country, the nation. So I don't even I can't even imagine, like like that time, like how can a man think of an art like when he's like starving and barely eating? Like no one even goes to see the paintings, and you know
Does that struggle? Does it come to mind and keep you focused when times get tough? Being able to
right.
create even in the darkest of moments?
Yes, his painting is actually in my living room, like the main position. And
Wow.
when I see his painting, I sometimes really have a have a dialogue with him, with his piece. Like,
That's art,
yo,
bro.
yeah, yo, this is not a big deal, right? I can deal with that. I can go through. Come on, give me some bravery.
What is it like to be able to put a song on your album, but also name an album dedicated to an artist that definitely has helped you get to where you're at today? I mean, that is a beautiful full circle moment.
Yes, this is my own type of tribute. There's a many tribute to the past legends like Beatles or Michael Jackson or Tupac or Biggie, but uh, I think there's no one that has ever done a tribute to a Korean painter. So as a K-pop artist, so I think it's gonna be really unique and fun.
It's amazing. And in that same vein, you have shared this album with so many incredible artists and artists that everybody's heard of and artists that people are now going to be fans of. I feel like you chose these features strategically. What were you listening for or looking for in the artists you chose to share this album with?
Um, it's Zach Sang, so I'm really answering this in my honesty. Um, um, I started music um with Nas and Eminem, but before that, I'm just a Korean. My roots and my motherland is here. So like after when we go to the Billboard, like after like in 2017, um, I got so many things. I got so many benefits from the whole American music market, because it's the biggest. The promos, the awards, it was was great. It was beautiful. But I suddenly realized just, yo, I'm just a Korean, and that doesn't mean that I'm just a Korean, so I have to do some Korean music. It's not it. I'm just I just suddenly felt some irresistible energy. Just, yo, I can't leave my motherland, kind of like that. So, but still, I grew up with the music from the Western. So I just wanna. I think that was me. It was all mixed, and you know what? K-pop is like that too. It's a mix of a Western and Eastern, and you know, dance and music, maybe hip hop and R&B and rock and like everything. So yo, I was being greedy for this album. I just want to put it in one single album. So the feature artists are my legends. There are Korean legends, there are American legends, and I am really in their debt at some point of my life. Like I shed the tears when I was in Badu's album when I was young, and you know, we had a really great time um playing Yet to Come with Anderson Park, and you know, seeing the Silk Sonic performing, and other Korean legends. They are my young idols, young time, my teenage idols. So I put it strategically, but um, I just wanted to make it you know, just one thing.
You're yeah, and in the same time, you're kind of fulfilling a dream or a few dreams, right? Like to be able to work with
Yeah.
your heroes and also be able to showcase the music that is so ripped from your DNA and your reality is God. Like and the range in the features. You mentioned Erica Badu. Like, what is it like when you hear that feature for the first time?
Badu was my hero when I was young with D'Angelo, of course, the Neo Soul, the Baduism. Like she's a king with her own castle. She lives in her own castle, and she has nothing to do with the hype or you know, the virals and stuff. She is just a king who made a genre, I think, and I suddenly realized her existence again through Robert Glasper's album.
Mm.
It's the track's called Afro Blue, and yeah, she featured and she sang in the track, because I was like, oh yeah, that was Badu. I heard, well, her voice is like so magical, and you know, it's like a casting a spell to you.
Yes.
And in Yoon, you listen to the music, and like I said before, there's a strong message of him, the words with honesty, and I think, yo, if I sing the hook like, oh, you should be a human before you be an artist, and you should keep the silence before you do something, you should be a human. I think if Badu, you know, like the legend of all time, like Badu sings this hook to people, I think it'd be way more convincing than I sing, because I'm 28, and yo, what do I know about life? I don't know a thing. Maybe a thing, but not a thing. So yeah,
But okay,
like that.
two sides, because you hit on something obvious, which I think about all the time. It's like I'm 29. I've been doing this, like life it's been a lot, but like at the same breath, you know nothing, right? You know a lot, but yet there's so much left to learn, and it's
Right.
both exciting and overwhelming, and also a little scary, because at times you want to think you know everything, but the reality is you do not.
Mhm.
So how does this record with Erica actually come to be? Do you does she just submit her hook for the song and you just craft around it? Does she craft around what you've already done?
I was afraid she may think of me very rude, because I wrote all the hook and lyrics and sent to her. Please sing this hook with your voice. And you know, it could be very offensive, because she's a fucking legend.
It's Erica Badu.
But yeah, it's Erica Badu. I mean, no explain needed. And you know, I sent like a tons of documents, like why I'm writing this song, about the painter, about the painter Yoon, and why you should sing this hook, why these young people need these messages through your voices. So she was convinced, and I felt like she was very open open-minded, and she sent me a message like once a month. So she's like, how's what's happening in your life, how you're doing,
Casual.
and like, yeah, casual. Like she's so nice. I don't feel like she's like she's in her age. Like I feel like she's like 30s when I'm texting with her.
Well, by the way, like that's a real collaboration, you know, and some people can do those features and take on a collaboration like that and be incredibly distant, you know, and not want to forge any relationship.
Yeah, I don't want to. I want to be seen like I'm using her, because I think there should be a specific like reason that we can't reject if you have a feature on this album, because it's my first solo album. Yo, I didn't expect like these many artists could be featured on this, because it's my first solo. But still, the frequency. If I make when I on the process that I'm making a song, that I sometimes suddenly feel that, oh, I need somebody's frequency to complete this song, then I'm just so down. So that's how it just happened.
At what point in the process does it present to you that like you need a feature, or this song could be a duet? Like in because there's a bunch of duets and obviously a bunch of features. So do you know before you start the song, or is it only while you're making it that you go, I need somebody else?
You know, it depends, but usually, you know, it's happening on the process. Like I'm writing, and I could like, you know, like I have a writer's block in the middle of the song, and then like, yo, I need someone, or like Yun, like if this track could be completed, I need someone way more convincing than me to spread this message, kind of like that.
Still Life. What story are you telling in this song?
Still Life is a funny song. So Still Life, you basically see the word Still Life mostly in the museums, because when you think of the Van Gogh sunflowers or Cézanne's apples, we see a title called Still Life. But you know, since English is not my mother language, when I my hobby is going to the museum and see all the art pieces, and I suddenly realized that I suddenly like thought of the title Still Life is like so strange, because yo, it's dead. I mean, the flowers are all dead, like 100 years ago, and the painter is even dead too. But he once gave a life to the flowers through paintings when he was alive. So it feels like it's really alive to me when I see the painting. And Still Life is like, when I see the title, I admit it like in two ways. First is that, and two is like, yo, when you get, you don't get questions like this, but if you like get questions like, what are you gonna choose if you know the future, like life or death? Then I'm like, you know, like a movie actor, like, oh, I'm still life. I want to be still alive, kind of like that. So I just want to use it that I'm thinking of myself that that my whole life is exhibition, and I may be just a flower or an apple in a painting, but I'm still moving forward and I'm still alive. So that's what I'm telling about.
Do you think artists through art, or even being an apple in a larger painting, ensures that, you know, through art you can kind of be alive forever?
Um, I'm not sure, but I when I see art, it relieves me because I don't need to be jealous of, you know. When I listen to some greatest albums, I become really jealous sometimes, and it's really hard. It's really tough to get that experience, because I want to just listen to music as music, but sometimes it's really hard. Like, yo, this guy's like 29 as me, but he made something like this. Like, yo, what am I doing with with my life? I suddenly think of that because I'm a creator too. But when I see on a painting, it's not my stuff. I will never paint because I do suck at painting.
You've tried? Yeah, you have tried.
Yeah, I've tried a few times. I'm so bad. So that's not my stuff. So yeah, I gave up. And so so why I'm telling you this is that there's a small Picasso exhibition in Korea, and um he passed away, years ago, but his painting was like so alive in some random East Asian country with just me and the communication and the communion. Like it was so I don't know, some next level. So at that time I felt that it's alive. They're dead but still alive.
It's art. Do you fuel the jealousy that you may have from listening to other people's music? Do you end up fueling it and putting that into your own success, into pushing yourself creatively?
Barely. It's my motivation. And there's an old saying, nothing's new under the sun. So a culture is flowing like, back and forth, east to west, west to east, maybe people to people. I don't know. Maybe art to music, music to culture, everywhere. So like my featured artists, they made my music this day. So I'm a K-pop artist, but I'm doing rock, folk, R&B, of course rap because it's my roots. But there's no borders or boundaries. It's just me.
What is the most challenging part of making an album like this?
So people, when it comes to an album, people usually have a specific concept, right? There's an intro, and they're like, when you think of the Don FM, it's a radio station concept, right? So it's like that. But for me, it was just a diary. Like I didn't know what's it gonna be in 2019 when I firstly started the track with Wildflower. Like, okay, I started this track, but I don't know what's the rest gonna be. Could it be a single or an album? I want to make an album, but I don't know it yet. So it was like I told you, like an architect, like just brick to a brick, stone to a stone. So it is. The most challenging thing is that you don't know what's it gonna be because there's no big picture.
Well, it's you. Like you're discovering yourself, right, in the process.
Yeah. So I'm changing year by year, month by month. So I just want to watch it and just make it to a one album, because the world needs an album like this too.
Yeah. Did you go? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. No,
you go.
When you see Adele's album, the title is like 21, 25, and 30.
Diary.
Right? Yeah. So it's so simple. Like, so Adele gave me bravery too.
Is there something to different colors as you release more solo albums?
I guess not, because mono, when I think of mono, it's like, I don't know, I feel like kind of very complicated feelings. It got me, because some of the tracks I'm still really proud of the tracks, but some of the tracks I just want to remove. So, but I just don't want to dump it because it's my history. It's mixtape, but so I didn't want to dump it. So I just want to make it like make these two stacks of music as a diptyque, like Mono and Indigo. It's rhyming and it's about the colors. And in the process, when I was making the last mixtape called Mono, it was a diary from 2015 to 2018, and I used to wear like the black clothes, black, gray, and white. And after that, I used to wear I'm wearing jeans and natural colors like neutral. So I think it could be more kind to introduce to the people how my change was coming on like this. And Mono and Indigo is gonna be a fun diptyque, I think.
That's by the way incredibly interesting that like everything in life is reflected in the art that you put out, like from even down to the colors that you wear in your clothing. A song like Forgetful, there's a strategic spelling to that title, right?
Yeah, so it's fun. Actually, in Korea, it's called 건망증, and I just couldn't find the right. I couldn't find the same texture as it has in Korean titles. So, like, okay, the closest one is forgetful, but it's like, oh, this is so not fun and not charming. So I just, it's a sense of humor. Like, I just miss the E because I'm so forgetful.
This is my favorite song off the album, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
You know what? This is the first song that was the kickoff of the whole creative process. I made this song like in 2019, like April, I guess. So it was the first one that I ever completed.
Did you make it like just you and a guitar? Like, how did this song start?
I have a close friend called John. Basically, he's a guitarist, and we did the NPR Tiny Desk with him. He's my friend. He's my closest friend. He's my best friend these days. And I suddenly, actually, the lyrics are saying that I'm just 26, so I recorded and completed all of the tracks in my 26. I'm 29, by the way. And I told you, like, sometimes like miracles happen. And this song, the whole song was a miracle because I just wake up in the morning and it just suddenly popped out in my mind, like the whole title, the lyrics, and the hook and the everything. So like I just recorded like right away, and I brought it to John, my friend, and I just want to make a song out of this, and I just need one simple guitar loop, and we just recorded it in our just small studio. And if you listen to it carefully, you could see some really some delicate sounds that I actually brought my denim jeans and like this, and there's some percussions, and I'm knocking the table like this. So unplugged and organic, like in the studio. That's so fun.
So beautiful and so incredibly special, and really such a departure from anything I've ever heard you put out before. I mean, you hear that too, right?
Of course. Some musicians of my friends really love the song that I just don't know why. I was like, but they said like, "Yo, this is so I don't know, like so heart to heart and so organic, and I just love the song so much.
It's really
it's a folk actually.
It's really beautiful. It is a folk song, but like, what does it mean to you? Like, did you feel like any part of it was a risk putting it on the album?
I told you, this song was the kickoff of the creative process. This is a starting point. So I couldn't take it out of the album, and it's so precious to me because everything happened in a small studio. There's no such some MIDI instruments. It's just all from my clothes and my tables and my guitars and hands. So I mean, I think I really needed the song because it's so me. I have a song like Wildflower, like, so dynamic strings and the rocking vocals and the messages are full, for the whole minutes. But this song is like, make you like armor down, like just put your armor down and just let's chill, let's take a coffee and
That's it. How'd you record with Kim on that one? Like, did you just send it off? Were you in the studio or how'd it work?
For that time, like 3 years ago, I was like so shy. So I asked John. So I wrote the lyrics and the part of Kim too. So like I asked John, oh, I'm so shy. So please just bring it to Kim. You're the one who arranged this track. So I can have it. I can put it on you. Like, let's go. And then and we did back and forth a little bit, but so Kim did record it like 3 years ago too. So but I think she wants to I've heard that she wants to re-record it like recently, but we thought that that was perfect.
It's so good.
It's just the way it was. I love the way it was. So yeah, I just leave it behind.
It was the moment, right? And like when you capture that, you really can't. There's no other take that will ever be better than
Right.
the moment.
Right. I want to leave it in my 26.
Wow.
Stuck in 26.
So have any of these songs taken on new meaning to you today since when you made them back when you were 26?
Yeah, because like the inspiration of Forgetful, the one who gave me that inspiration was my friend, a friend of mine, but he's not actually, he's far away, kind of like that. So the song really got me really came to me like different this time, because like, okay, I even forget about the inspiration giver of this song. So the meaning of the song and the color of the song, the temperature, the texture is always changing, and even in the creative process. And maybe after release, it's gonna be way more different, because once they were released, they're not mine anymore. It's just up to the audience and the listeners. So maybe it could be way more different later on.
Do you feel like you lose a part of your art when you share it with everybody else?
No, once you make it, and once you release it, it's mine until it's not open. But once it's open, it's everybody's. The same for the paintings too. It's not. I don't think it's on their, the artists. I think it's not theirs. It's just the people's. That's what we call heritage and a legacy. So I don't think it's a losing. It's just a natural happening, and artists have to just move on and move on and move on. I already, so forgetful of my whole process of the making this album, and I'm just thinking like, okay, so what next?
Is that like, do you wish that there'd be a moment in time where you didn't think of what is next and just soak in what is? Or do you like forward?
I think I like forward for at first, and I'm just too young to just chill, I guess. It's my first solo, so as a solo, I'm just a newbie. So I think I'm still craving these things. And I've heard that tons of people told me that sometimes the time comes when you can make it, even if you want to make it. So if I have lots of going on my inside, I have to digest it like in any ways of my own. So so I'm trying, but it's tough. It's hard, but I think art is like, you have to do it when you feel like dying. Like, oh, if I don't do this, I'm gonna die. Then you should do it. If not, I'm not recommending the people to make an album or paint. You have to. You need a one single goddamn reason that you can reject.
That's
yeah.
It's that burning passion, that like it's that that deep desire that's unwavering, and like it just needs to be done. You can't live if it doesn't get done.
Like historically in art, it's like the still life and the mountain, these landscape paintings, they're all dead because Donald Judd, he came with a small box in 1960s, and people were saying that, oh, paintings are dead right now. Historically, we need more avant-garde and development. But still, in 2022, lots of paintings are alive, and people are crazy for the paintings, and lots of artists are still painting. And for me, like, why do I make music? I'm not good at rapping, like not more than Nas, not more than Kendrick, not more than Eminem. which are my heroes, or I can't sing like Erykah Badu, I can't sing like Anderson .Paak, but why am I making music then? Because that I think I have my own one single edge that I can only spread to this world, and I feel like I'm dying that if I not do this. So that's the reason why I'm you know, if I just like music and just do it, and I could just, you know, keep it as a hobby and give it to the friends, and maybe just on SoundCloud, and it's like, oh, I make music and that shit. But you know, it's a professional, you make money out of it, then you should be I think you should be aware of like why you're doing this.
Well, because the reason ultimately is bigger than you, right? Like going
Right.
back to art living on way beyond the artist and the impact that art has, yes, in your own self-discovery, but also at the same time allowing other people to discover new parts of themselves, and
Right.
genuinely felt very understood by this album.
So
No.
yeah, so thankfully I got a lot of influence and power thanks to the BTS and thanks to my effort of my whole 20s. So if I got power, like what should I do? Like I think like Yoon, I think there's some specific, maybe some things that these young people need in this time of the world. So I just want to do that because I have the power and I have lots of infras and the windows to spread. So I think this is the moment, and I just want to do it really well, in my way.
Changes Part 2. The production on this song is, dude, wild. And the flow, the transition into the keys, like, where does this beat come from?
It's my old friend. He's a Korean rock legend too. Eon, his name is Eon from the band Moat, and he's one of the biggest genius that I ever known in this industry. Because he's I'm like a more way of, you know, when I create something, I'm like more into intuition, like the process of forgetful. I just record it as the guitar loop, and that's it. Like, you know, I judge and then I bring some people, but him is like this guy is like, I don't know, he's like a real architect, like build the frequencies and the instruments and the layers, like really thoughtful and like mathematical. It's so magic. So when you see a great mathematical things or a technology, you see an art, right? Like a spaceship. So Change Part 2, the whole melody and lyrics, it's just popped on my mind. Like when I was walking down the road, I was like, things change, people change, everything. Okay, I gotta make a song with this, but who should I work with? The producer, because I gave up producing because I didn't have that much talent in that too. So anyway, so I think of him because maybe he could bring some unexpected things to this, and he did actually. The transition and the instruments, the glitch, the noise,
so good,
tune stuff. It's so crazy and so technologic and so pervert, like in a good way.
It's
so
meticulous and technical and like really, dude, fucking great. Like it's really good.
He's a damn genius. And so the melody and beat, so the melody and the lyrics just comes first, and then the beat comes next. But the fun thing is that I never expected some beats like this when I recorded the melody. So I visited his house, because his studio is in his house actually, in a small room, and I recorded. I was like so drunk at that time. I was like, yo, hey, I brought some melodies and I just want to work with you. And so I was like, so I recorded it with some microphone like SM58 that mic is not for the real recording. It's just some stupid dynamic mic. It's a good mic, but still, it's not for the recording. And I did that, and he made beat with that demo. So there's a track, right? So I tried like a few times to record on the beat again, but I just couldn't do it because it's strange. But you know, I didn't get it because there was no beat but the melodies, and then and then you know, beat came next, and then I tried to record it on the beat, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't help. I just couldn't fit the beat. So I used the drunken demo, the whole part. So it's a drunken demo actually. Like we did it in 3 minutes.
Wait, is that what actually made it to the album?
Yeah, the album.
That's
so
amazing.
So when I recorded it, I didn't know about the beat. There was no beat, but just the metronome, like tick, tick. Things change, people. So yeah, I mean, things happen like this sometimes. You don't know what's it gonna be.
But it came out literally perfect. Is it?
I love that song.
It's so good. Is there like one event or a series of events that inspired that record?
So I think it came natural because things were like changing so much, a lot going on. So I felt like, okay, I'm chasing for the timelessness and the eternity, but things do change, and I just got to admit. And yeah, so it's like a wanderer. Just okay, things change, people change, and I think it was fun. It was a funny part because the Change Part 1 was a single with Wale, and it's really about the society and a positive energy. But the Change Part 2 is like really sarcastic and pessimistic in some way. So I think that's gonna be fun.
Is it hard to make friends?
It ain't hard to make friends, but it is hard to make friends.
Is it hard to make real friends?
Yeah.
I mean, friends, acquaintances are in abundance, but real friends are far and few between.
Right. It's tricky because I think that's tricky because of my team, I guess. The name of the team is so big, so some people really misunderstand about me, and they act different sometimes. So it's really hard to make friends. But still, I'm really open, and you know, like a featuring, like a feature, you need some specific frequency to be connected to people with, you know, as friends in naming friends.
And by the way, that frequency doesn't need to connect with everybody, and sometimes that frequency connects with somebody, and it turns out to be a bad connection, right? And you learn, but you can only learn once you're in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm. That's why friends are treasures.
The real ones are, yeah, man, and like that's so true. And the real ones also stick by you no matter what's going on, right? They're the ride or dies. Like, don't need to talk every day. Could literally go without talking for months, but when they're needed, they're there. When they need you, you are there. It's true.
Right.
It's true.
They do, and I will do the same too.
That's best friendship. It really is. Like, and then it's very special. It's so funny. I go silent on my friends sometimes, and my friends will hit me up forever and ever and ever. And my friends are very busy. They're very cool people, you know? But the real ones stick with you no matter what goes on in life. And, you know, a lot of my best friends, I've been friends with them for 13 years, 14 years, you know? Long time.
Oh, that's the best period, I think.
It's true. Well, because it's like, you know, you ride with people through kind of before all of this, and then you ride with them through it. And it's wild.
Yeah, most of my real friends were from my teenage. Same for me.
Teenage years.
Yeah, because they treat me like yo. So what? Okay, you're BTS. So what? What are you bragging in front of me?
they treat you like RM, right? Like that's
they treat me like just a boy, you know.
You feels good though, man. Like it really does. Like
feels really good.
Number 2, how did this song start?
Um, it happened. The song was the second. After, I mean, like right after the Forgetful. So I made this song with John too, the friend who I made Forgetful with.
Of course.
And number two is like, firstly, I was thinking of Orpheus, that in the myth, when he was running away from hell. So the wife of what is it? The Hell's King. I can't think of the name, but she tells Orpheus like, never look back when you're running away from the hell. So I think it's an old saying, like you shouldn't regret. So I think the ancient Greeks, I think they already knew they shouldn't regret and never look back. And I just watched the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it's about the small decisions that that make your life change. And we always think of like, what if I didn't do that? What if I didn't bump into him or her? Like, what if I didn't choose it? But the movies and the old sayings, the myths, are teaching us that if you want to change something, you can't change it, and your universe, your version of your life is the best one. So I just have so many regrets, and regrets are so natural for me. Like I do it every night, every time. So it's like a saying to myself, like, please don't look back from now on. Please, you will look back, but please don't look back, because you did your best, and you'll be the only one who can protect yourself. So you chose your past, and you're choosing your present. You will choose your future, but there could be some trials, hardships, risks, dangers, but still, don't look back and enjoy the ride. Just feel if you're sad, just be sad. If you're happy, just be happy. It's a life.
But keep going.
And keep going. Yeah.
Dude, really, this is a very special conversation. I really appreciate you even doing this in any capacity. It means the world. It really does. It's really, really special. What do you want people to learn about you after listening to this body of work?
I just hope they feel. Just hope they feel that, a young man in a K-pop band have some success in even the American music market. How he deals with his life, and I just want to make people think about their own lives and be happy. And they don't see the lyrics quite much these days. I hope they could see and figure out what's inside the lyrics, because that's what I've learned. So yeah, so it's a hard question, but I just hope they learn more about myself and themselves as well.
RM, I cannot thank you enough for this. I mean, really, this is easily one of the most special conversations I've ever been a part of. So I thank you for being honest and open and giving me the time. I mean, really, man, like, I thank you.
For sure. I'm being honest. You always have been the best interviewer that I ever met in abroad, man. So English is, I'm having a hard time learning it, but still I feel it. I could feel it even with my second language. So I'm so grateful and appreciate it now. And I've been expecting this interview so much. Thank you, Zach.
I was sending you the most love, and again, thank you for being honest today, and honest in this art always, and to get to know you more, and the stories behind this album, really special. And just RM, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the honest interview.
the downs. Oh, I will stay.